8 reasons why INFJs seem fake to others. Have you ever felt like no matter how authentic you are, the world misunderstands you, twisting your intentions into something they can label as fake, insincere, or manipulative? As an INFJ, the rarest personality type on the planet, you know the weight of living with depth that few can perceive. A mind and heart that process more than anyone around you will ever understand. The truth is, being called fake is not an indictment. It's a reflection of the world's inability to read the layers beneath your surface. And in this video, we will dive into the 8 profound reasons why INFJs seem fake to others. Reasons rooted not in deceit, but in depth, empathy, and survival. By the end of this, you'll realize that what looks like fakery is, in fact, the very essence of your intelligence, compassion, and complexity. 1. The mask of politeness. The first reason INFJs seem fake is the one that is most visible yet least understood: the mask of politeness. From the outside, it can look like smiling when you are hurting, nodding when you are disagreeing, or laughing when your heart is screaming silently. But to the INFJ, this is not dishonesty. It is a deliberate act of compassion, a protective mechanism honed over years of experiencing the harshness of social judgment. Imagine walking into a room full of strangers while carrying the weight of someone else's pain, sensing tension before anyone even speaks. The INFJ instinctively adjusts, modulating tone, posture, and words to prevent conflict, to protect others from discomfort, and to maintain harmony. To someone who skims the surface, this may appear as a false persona, but in reality, it is an unselfish act of empathy that costs the INFJ more energy than anyone around them could ever measure. Being polite, accommodating, and agreeable is often mistaken for weakness or fakery. Yet it is, in fact, an act of courage. Each nod, each smile, is a conscious decision to prioritize emotional intelligence over immediate self-expression. And the paradox is heartbreaking. The INFJ's kindness, a source of their most profound power, is frequently misunderstood as insincerity by those who cannot feel the underlying intentions. 2. The empathy paradox. The second reason INFJs seem fake is their unparalleled ability to empathize, a gift so acute that it is both a blessing and a burden. INFJs can sense emotions before they are spoken, intuiting the unexpressed fears, joys, and vulnerabilities of those around them. But because they naturally mirror and respond to these emotions, their external expression often adapts to the emotional state of others, making it appear as though their behavior is calculated or performative. Picture an INFJ listening to a friend cry. Internally, they feel the anguish in a visceral way. Their heart tightens, their mind races with ways to help, and their body instinctively adjusts, softening voice, offering gentle gestures, nodding empathetically. To someone who doesn't perceive emotional attunement as a skill, it may look like the INFJ is putting on a show. The truth is, INFJs are living in a constant dance with humanity's emotional currents. They tune themselves like a delicate instrument, responding with precision and care. Every word, every action, is informed by compassion and intuition, not deception. What others perceive as fakery is actually the invisible labor of an empath who carries the emotional weight of the world while trying not to drown in it themselves. 3. The need for solitude. Reason number 3 is the INFJ's retreat into solitude. To outsiders, this can look like inconsistency, as if the person who was perfectly charming yesterday is now aloof, cold, or distant. But the INFJ's withdrawal is not a sign of insincerity. It is a sacred necessity, a ritual of emotional replenishment that allows them to process the constant flood of external input they absorb. Consider this: every interaction, every observation, every feeling from others leaves a subtle imprint on the INFJ's psyche. They carry invisible emotional backpacks, overflowing with the worries, desires, and unspoken thoughts of the people around them. To survive, to remain grounded, and to continue functioning with clarity and integrity, INFJs need space. During these moments alone, they do not transform into someone else. They process, reflect, and reconnect with their authentic selves. Yet the outside world may see this as hypocrisy. masking, or inconsistency. It is neither. It is the INFJ's silent rebellion against a world that rarely allows them the breathing room necessary to preserve their sanity and their soul. 4. Strategic communication. Reason 4 is perhaps one of the most misunderstood. The INFJ's careful, strategic communication. INFJs are thinkers before they speak, considering the weight of words, the impact of tone, and the emotional resonance of every sentence. They understand that words are not just expressions. They are instruments capable of healing or wounding. This deliberation can make them seem evasive, calculated, or even manipulative to those who are accustomed to impulsive or unfiltered communication. But the INFJ is not fake. They are conscientious. Every pause, every choice of phrasing, is an act of responsibility. They do not speak lightly because they have witnessed the consequences of careless words, both in themselves and in others. Imagine an INFJ in conversation with someone they care about, feeling the tension rising. They choose their words with surgical precision, not to deceive, but to preserve understanding, trust, and emotional safety. Outsiders may see this as pretense, but for the INFJ, it is a reflection of their commitment to authenticity tempered by wisdom, empathy, and foresight. 5. The complexity of values. The fifth reason INFJs appear fake is rooted in the complexity of their values. Unlike many, INFJs do not operate on surface-level morals or social norms. Their ethical compass is intricate, layered, and often invisible to others. They are not swayed by peer pressure, trends, or convenience. Their decisions are guided by an inner logic deeply intertwined with intuition, empathy, and long-term vision. This depth can appear contradictory or inconsistent to those accustomed to simpler judgments. One day, an INFJ may act in a way that seems conservative. The next day, their actions may appear radical. To outsiders, this unpredictability can seem like duplicity. To the INFJ, it is integrity, a refusal to compromise their inner truth for external approval. Every INFJ decision is filtered through a matrix of morality, intuition, and emotional insight. What looks like fakery is, in fact, a sophisticated alignment of thought and action designed to honor both self and others, even when the world is unable to grasp the nuances of their choices. 6. The hidden inner world. Reason 6 is the INFJ's vast, hidden inner world. INFJs carry multiverses within themselves, dreams, fears, moral contemplations, vivid imaginings, and unspoken observations. This internal depth is so rich, so intricate, that only fragments can safely emerge in the external world without overwhelming or being misunderstood by others. Outsiders often misinterpret this selective expression as insincerity, but it is, in fact, an act of preservation. The INFJ understands that exposing the full breadth of their inner world too soon invites judgment, misinterpretation, or ridicule. Instead, they choose what to reveal, when to reveal it, and to whom, creating the illusion of a curated or fake persona. Yet this selective sharing is not deception, it is wisdom. It is the INFJ's way of navigating a world unprepared for the intensity of their inner reality, a way to remain authentic without being vulnerable to harm. Their silence, their careful expression, is a testament to the depth of their self-awareness and the sophistication of their emotional intelligence. 7. The fear of rejection. The seventh reason INFJs appear fake is their deep, often invisible fear of rejection. The world has taught them, repeatedly, that vulnerability is risky. Sharing too much, too soon, often leads to misunderstanding, judgment, or betrayal. The INFJ's careful, sometimes guarded demeanor is therefore not a mask of falseness. It is a shield forged from experience, a way to protect the very parts of themselves that are most genuine and sacred. When an INFJ hesitates, observes, or responds cautiously, it is not because they are pretending. They are calculating the safest way to maintain connection without losing themselves. Their perceived inconsistency, their selective openness, is a survival strategy that allows them to remain authentic while avoiding the emotional costs that reckless exposure can bring. This is the paradox. INFJs crave connection, yet fear it. They desire authenticity, yet protect it fiercely. Outsiders see contradictions and label them fake. But the truth is infinitely more human, infinitely more complex, and infinitely more relatable to those who have ever feared being misunderstood. 8. The gift of adaptability. The final reason INFJs appear fake is their extraordinary gift of adaptability. They are chameleons, not for manipulation, but for survival and empathy. Life requires flexibility, and an INFJ perceives the unspoken needs, moods, and emotional landscapes of those around them, adjusting their behavior to maintain harmony, reduce conflict, and guide outcomes toward understanding and compassion. This skill is a double-edged sword. It allows INFJs to navigate social situations with grace and subtlety, but to the untrained eye, it seems like calculated performance. The truth is, every adjustment, every nuanced change in demeanor, is not fakery, it is a conscious, compassionate, and strategic alignment with reality, designed to maintain authenticity while protecting others. The INFJ's adaptability is their secret power. They do not change who they are internally, but they modulate how they present themselves externally to achieve understanding, connection, and emotional resonance, a feat that few can truly comprehend. INFJs are not fake, they are profoundly, intricately human, navigating a world that cannot always grasp their depth, sensitivity, and foresight. Every action that appears inauthentic is, in fact, an act of intelligence, compassion, and self-preservation. Being called fake is not a condemnation. It is a reflection of the world's inability to read the layers, the complexity, and the sacred intentionality that INFJs embody. The polite smile, the empathetic resonance, the need for solitude, the careful choice of words, the moral complexity, the hidden inner world, the guarded vulnerability, and the masterful adaptability are all hallmarks of someone who is more genuine than most will ever comprehend. To the INFJ watching this, remember, your depth is your strength, your careful expression is your gift, and your perceived fakeness is merely the world failing to perceive your brilliance. You are not fake, you are extraordinary. If this resonated with you, INFJ, share it with someone who has ever questioned their own authenticity or who has felt misunderstood. Like, subscribe, and comment about your experiences with being mislabeled as fake. Your voice matters, your depth matters, and your authenticity is your superpower, even when the world cannot see it.